Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be discussing the topic of why money maxing in your 20s, in your teens, may not be the best for you. Now, in my case, let's look at my example. I remember when I was 17 years old, I got my first job. I got my first paycheck. I couldn't believe it. It seemed like, $400 was so much money. And I just immediately thought to myself, how far can I take this? And then I remember feeling like all the money that I was making would be best spent investing, saving, not spending. So I started to learn, how can I invest? I started to learn, how can I save my money? What do I want to do with my money that I'm making so that I can maximize its potential? And I remember coming across resources and YouTube videos about why money maxing will change your life and make it better. And it's this huge pillar in finding a partner, right? You need to have good money, status, and looks. Now, what those fail to recognize is that you are fundamentally changing your outlook on life. I started hanging around people older than me, right, to learn the secrets, the tricks of the trade. People in their 20s, late 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s even, trying to learn what made these people successful. How did they get to where they are today? And as the old saying goes, start young, invest as soon as you can, save as much as you can. But what slowly started to happen is I started to mature much quicker than my peers. So I was 16, 17, going on 18. I'm 19 now, almost 20. And what I found is that over time, people started to believe that I was much older than I was. First, I was 16, people thought I was 18. Then I was 17, people asked me, oh, are you 19, 20? Now I'm 19, I've gained even more experience. People mistake me for being 23, 22. And what I found is that when it comes to dating, this is not beneficial. Not unless you're trying to find a wife immediately, right? Because let's face it, women want to have fun, especially young girls, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, right? They're in college, they just want to have fun. So by making yourself seem older than you are, there's just this mentality that as you mature, as you get older, you don't want to have fun anymore, right? You slow down. You're not spontaneous. You wouldn't go on that long road trip, just decide and just go. While that may never even be the case, the person that's 25 may be just as spontaneous and want to have just as much fun as the person that's 19. But that's the way that society portrays it, is that as you get older, you don't have fun anymore. You get locked in a cage, right? You start to have duties, as we like to call them, things, adult things that you don't have when you're 19. Now, I came to the realization that women want to have fun, and as I mentioned, by putting yourself in the box of someone older than you are, you're going to appeal to an older woman, right? It sounds like common sense, but for some reason, I couldn't understand that. I kept asking myself, why does it seem like it's 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds who are the ones giving me the attention, right? I work a job where I talk to thousands of people in a day. I work at Costco, so you see so many people, right? Why does it seem like out of all of these people, out of all of these amazing women in the world, the ones that talk to me or the ones that show me the most interest are 23, 24? And that's because you are exuding that in the way you behave. Let me say it again. By money maxing, by consuming content on being smart with your money, by being particular with how you spend your money, by being very specific about and deliberate about everything you do, you're fundamentally changing your attitude on life towards that of a much more mature person. Now, is it bad? No, I don't think it's bad. Not for your overall well-being and your socioeconomic status. It's going to be uplifted. However, when it comes to dating at a young age, right, 19, as I said, it's not going to help you. It's actually a hindrance, because these girls are going to think, oh, this guy's 22, he's 24, he's 23, right? I'm 19. Why would he talk to me? Or they automatically assume, oh, this guy is put together well, he talks nicely, he probably already has been dating a girl for 4 years and they're in a deep relationship. Who knows what they think? But the point is, they already put you into a box of not having fun, which is the 18, 19-year-old classic guy. They put you in the box of provider. They put you in the box of father figure. Would he be good for my kids? Of course, right? You're going to know how to manage your money. You're going to be great for a family. But these women are 18 and 19. That's not their goal. That's not their primary goal. They just want to have fun. So the point is, don't listen to everything. Consume the content you like, sure. If you want to money max, do it. I did it. I don't think I regret it. However, be aware of what you're putting yourself into. There's a high likelihood that you will struggle more with women if you're young, if you max your money, if you max your knowledge, going to school, all these things. That's going to make you more mature. That's going to make you a smarter person. And on the flip side of it, if you don't do that, you can spend that time that you would have spent money maxing, going to parties, going out, going to the beach, whatever, meeting women, and that may be more beneficial if your primary goal is to talk to women and meet women. And the last thing here is that the more you actually acquire knowledge, right, not specific to money maxing, but in this case, money maxing, the more knowledge you acquire, the more you realize that it's really not going to help you when it comes to women. It's like this with anything, and I'll make a video on why being attractive won't necessarily help you with women. I know there's a lot of videos on that already, but it's the same with anything. I have a friend, he's 6'5", I got another one 6'4", both athletes. And what happens when you're extremely tall or you're extremely handsome is that becomes your crutch. You don't know how to use any other features to your advantage. You only rely on your height, or you only rely on your attractiveness, your handsome face, whatever. So you're generally, those two people have a dry personality. So they're lacking in personality. Those two people, they're not they're cool guys, but they're not necessarily fun people. So you need to be well-rounded. You can't just focus all of your stimulus into improving one aspect of your life. You need to improve everything. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.